Remote.
Get your remote, have that trigger thumb ready on the play button, but don't press it yet. Don't press it. We're going to all do that at the same time on the count of 3. Are you ready?
Yeah.
1.
We're ready.
2, 3.
Oh, Kirk. I love him so much.
Best character on the show, except for maybe Emily.
We have polls in our app as well, and we just recently had a poll on like the best side character, and I mean, Kirk just crushed the poll.
Of course. I mean, he's a great filmmaker.
One of the best scenes in the entire show.
Oh, Reenie.
That sounded ADR'd.
In the first draft, Lulu actually came into the restaurant.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was looking at the script this morning, and Gandolfi came into it as well. But he's such a troublemaker, we probably wrote him out.
Ha.
So here's a question for the cast and crew. Would you have been wearing a pink ribbon for Lorelai or a blue ribbon for Luke?
Duh.
God.
Pink.
We're all pinks here.
I would have probably worn a pink. We would have been required to wear one.
I mean, the show's named after her.
And the Weston coffee cup thing was in the first draft as well.
Now, something like that, we probably had 2 sweaters.
Nice.
What's this song?
We can all sing it together if you'd like.
We've tried to sing this song together. It never really works because everybody's episode is like off by a split second. It just sounds absolutely horrible.
There's videos somewhere of a fan fest where we all there was like a karaoke event, and we all sang this together. It was lovely.
Yeah, I did the video, so I can say it.
Yeah. Thanks, Claudia.
Happy birthday, Ed.
I have videos somewhere of Carole King singing it with Melissa McCarthy behind her, fangirling.
Oh, wow. That's good.
This may be our biggest room, our biggest event that we've had so far in Remarkist, by the way.
This is incredible. It's so fun to see so many people here.
Absolutely.
So in the original, it was Christopher Durang was the play they went to.
Tony Kushner was probably a little more relevant at the time.
I just bought a new compilation of Christopher Durang's.
We used to do Durang plays in high school.
Yay.
He is crazy.
Yay. There you are, Stan.
There you go.
Also, it's National Ice Cream Month.
There he is.
There we go.
Look at that guy.
And that was all in the first draft, too, the cereal.
Get your Cocoa Puff on.
Ice cream on the cereal, game changer.
Yeah.
Cereal on the ice cream.
So that actually, when I was a kid, we went to the Kellogg's plant in Battle Creek. I'm from Michigan, and they did ice cream and cereal.
Ooh, that's better milk.
Legit.
Ice cream, also known as Better Milk.
Better milk. That's gonna be my ice cream brand, guys. You guys could invest.
I use apple juice in my cereal.
Ooh. Can you please give me the time code? My Netflix stopped after 30 seconds.
4 minutes and 49 seconds.
Perfect, thanks.
And now it's at 5 minutes.
So I know that Valerie has an ice cream flavor for Nick. I think that next she needs to do one for Alan, John, and Shelly too.
Agreed.
Well, the next book, it's all set in stone. But who knows? Who knows?
Do you make a pickle flavored ice cream?
Oh my God, we were talking about that the other day. I thought pickles, but on TikTok, but no, that sounds too weird. But there's a cucumber gin and rosewater one in the next book.
I dig that jacket and the t-shirt.
Yeah. Did you miss Michelle? Trick question.
Have you gotten Yannick on this yet?
The eyewear, that whole run, that was all actually in the first draft.
Oh, Michelle. Gotta love him.
Stan, what inspired the RV storyline?
Oh my God, I have no idea. And Nick Lachey, that joke was in the first draft. It's so funny. You think everything's rewritten.
Little detail that Yannick has a wallet in his back pocket, but it's not a wallet, is it, Valerie?
His mic pack?
No, it would probably be his personal wallet, I bet.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't think Pops would have handed him a wallet. I really don't. A lot of times we were trying to minimize pocket.
I just
stuff,
assumed
so
it was
he
a
had
mic
one in
pack.
there.
I thought it was a mic pack.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a mic pack. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. That makes sense. I thought you meant like Pops handed him one.
And the Snow Globe was in the first draft as well. But the book was Tuesdays with Maury, because there was a whole Tuesdays with Maury book run. Those were the books on the shelf that she took out.
I liked how full of shit Michelle is in this. It's so great.
He's never as happy as in this episode, I think. Vacation is good for him.
I was just wondering when Bob Barker retired. It was in 2007, so this was just before that.
And he lives down the street from me. I used to see him walk up, but he hasn't been seen in a while.
Hey, Stan, he says $100,000 of cash and prizes. He doesn't say dollars. I'm wondering if that was a choice by the actor or if that was in the script.
I will look in the script later, but probably the actor.
Yeah, it's probably his accent.
Yeah.
Bob Barker's 97, so maybe he's not getting out as much.
No, I don't think so.
Romantic nausea. Oh, Kirk.
Oh, Kirk indeed. Romantic nausea. Yep.
You're a hell of a good writer, Stan. Hell of a good writer.
Agreed.
Totally agree.
I'm going to do this every Sunday morning.
Did you come up with boysenberry? Did you choose? It's got to be a boysenberry pie because.
My God, I don't remember. We were all in a crazy room.
I'm just kidding. I do like boysenberry pie, and I really like the word boysenberry.
So Stan, in a scene like this, are you just like packing in as much dialogue as possible?
Yeah, I was looking at the original draft was 78 pages.
Holy moly!
And that's
crazy.
probably
That's a feature film.
But that was short. I mean, we sometimes got up to 90.
Oh yeah. We
That's
had
crazy.
scripts. I remember scripts that I had that were, I don't know if I'd say 90, but I remember there were some that were like 87, 88 pages.
Right.
That is a full-on feature length script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we always ended up writing longer and then cutting after the table read.
Yeah. That must have been tough for the editors. Cut around all that.
No, I mean, we cut the scripts before we shot.
Copy.
Yeah.
So exactly how many plaid shirts were there for, Luke?
Al?
How many baseball hats?
We had 2 originally, and then after he lost one of them, we got 10 of them.
She should not be driving and talking on the phone.
I mean, come on. A lot
Was
of things.
this before that rule happened?
Hey Val, do you remember? Did they ever? I mean, obviously this is not one of them, but in earlier seasons, did they do car stuff on a stage?
No, they shot it all like on forest lawn for the most part. I mean, there might have been. It seems that would have cost a lot of money because you would have had to have like projection and
Moving lights.
and lights and bumping things. But there might have been something.
Some of those early seasons, it looks very, very screeny.
I just remember us always driving out to Forest Lawn and them shooting it with like vans.
Yeah, they would just like put it on that trailer bed and then just drag the car.
Yeah, it was way cheaper for them to do it that way.
Sherry just sent me a link to a BuzzFeed article of every single flannel shirt worn by Luke Danes.
Oh my God.
Do you see the tape that's underneath that chair? That's probably hiding a Warner Brothers barcode and logo.
Oh, that's funny. Prop shop.
My mother's
Yeah,
a Lulu. I love that one.
I gotta say, I kind of geeked out when I saw the no cell phone sign for the first time in person. That was cool. The handmade sign.
This is amazing.
Yes. Man up, Kirk.
Talking on his terms. Or in his terms.
Oh, God.
Hey, all those columns, the ones that are in this house, they're not real. So if you leaned against them, they would fall over.
Yeah. They weren't attached to anything.
What were they?
They're just plastic.
No, I mean they're freestanding. They're obviously not marble, but they're freestanding, and so people lean against them and they start to budge.
That's hilarious, but they look so real.
Indeed.
Casey Katzmeyer.
And bless you forever and ever, Ed Herman.
Amen.
Yeah.
How many hours you guys think you've spent at that dinner table shooting?
I know I've spent at least several weeks, if not months, shooting that dinner table scene.
If Gilmore Girls happened today, I wonder if there'd be like a Facebook support group for former maids of the family.
I wonder if BuzzFeed has a list of them. I was just thinking that.
Absolutely. I definitely think there'd be a Facebook group for Emily's former maids. Yeah.
Emily's Help should be the page.
Absolutely.
Team Emily's Help.
Exactly.
And remember, Kelly and Ed, I think, were not at the table read. They were on the box. And they just came in for filming.
Nice.
Kelly would have probably, well, a lot of times Kelly wasn't in town, but she stayed out here a lot longer than Ed would.
You said Ed would.
I mean, I'm not buying this. Like, how does Emily not understand why what she did, the way that she brought them back together, would completely annoy the hell out of?
Exactly.
I mean, it just seems hard to buy.
She can do no wrong.
Yeah, Emily can do no wrong. Emily can do no wrong.
I think she's just used to always getting her way.
She's done a few things wrong, but she gets it right too.
Yes, she has.
I still want the Robert and Emily love affair storyline to take place if they ever do another thing.
That's in season 7, isn't it?
Right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought it was in the revival.
This was shot over by closer to the cafeteria at Warner Brothers.
Seems in this episode, everything has to be a competition with Lorelai.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, this was shot in Hennessy Street, I think.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, is she okay with the casual?
Wait for it, Sean.
I agree with Lorelai here.
Love it. But I agree with Lorelai. But I understand Rory's side.
Sure. She's
I love
trying.
that. I love that line. I watch Oprah. Friends with benefits. I watch Oprah.
Yep, love it.
Why did they just stand there? Why didn't they keep going?
They're creepers.
That's called television for you.
Yeah, they didn't want to do another setup.
Yeah, it's too much set dressing.
Oh, Michelle.
Did you write lines for him knowing he would say it in such a ridiculous accent?
Of course.
Bravo.
Fantastic.
We would probably do his accent in the room.
Now I need to hear you say that accent, Stan.
When in the world are we going to meet Huntsberger? When are we going to meet the dad, man?
Just wait.
I can't. I'm just, the anticipation's killing me.
You're not allowed spoilers, or we would tell you, John.
Maybe he's one of those that just never really show up. They just talk about him.
I'm gonna take your kernels away, John.
Yeah, take his kernels away, Stan. Yeah.
That VGA cable in the back of the monitor makes me feel really old.
I don't like Logan.
Oh, come on.
I love him.
I don't like Logan.
He knows that.
I said it.
There, I said it.
Neither do I.
I love this scene.
Yuki's food always looks so delectable.
That Lorelei top doesn't seem like something she normally would wear.
It looks like the red hat ladies, that they were red and purple.
It's just for the shoot, probably to look like especially nice. I like the shirt.
I'm still so amazed that they recreated the Dragonfly Inn for the revival inside of the soundstage. This one was outside.
Man, he has to pay taxes on that thing, by the way.
Facts.
Like, that's one of the things that, like, when Oprah gives away cars on her show, like, suddenly everyone is got like a big tax debt.
Wow. Jeez, Michelle.
You need to pay taxes for gifts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's actually not easy. I mean, the process of selling a car is not the easiest thing. So it just the whole thing getting a car as a prize is, comes with a lot.
So where did the driver go? How did he get home?
He's walking, isn't he?
Oh yeah, okay.
They must have a follow vehicle for him somewhere.
You wrote the episode, Stan, didn't you?
Stan, yeah, I was gonna say, where did he go? Let us know.
And then you get that comment in the room, and someone says, "Oh, no one will notice."
Right. Except we all did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's sort of what we do here in these sessions, is we just pick apart all of that little stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's kind of horrible.
That's the first time that's happened in the series.
Couldn't she get like Luke to come over and move it?
Hey, look at this handsome
who's that?
stranger. Look at this handsome guy.
Who's that twink?
Yeah.
20,000 gin and tonics ago.
Team Robert forever.
That is a very large shirt you're wearing, man.
Yeah.
You're really drowning in it.
It's a jacket, sort of.
I was also a lot
That was the look.
smaller. I think I weighed 125 pounds then.
John, this is info that this is Finn's birthday party coming up.
Yeah, I got it.
Yay, Tarantino.
Hey, this is where it begins.
Yeah.
When I did that scene, directed by Michael Zinberg, this episode, and he's like a TV veteran, and I was like, I wanted to be, like, you make sure I do a good job, that kind of thing, and try to be manly about it. And so we did one take, and he was like, all right, moving on. I'm like, no, don't be easy on me. Like, get what you need. And he's like, all right, let's go again. And so we did the scene again, and he was like, you feel like you did your job? And I said, yeah. And he's like, good, we're going to use the first one.
He already got what he needed because you're a pro.
You're a one-take guy.
Most of the time, the editor would actually just use the first take that was printed on the show. She never got past the main editor. She would just use the first take of whatever was printed.
Ha.
Oof. This is an interesting look for the Michelle character.
Pouty.
It's the first kind of pouty
Defeated.
Michelle.
Defeated Michelle.
The light seems a little weird in this shot. Like there's a lot of lights around her as opposed to natural lighting.
Looks like it's late.
They're so mean.
And like the people can't hear them inside.
It's so crazy they bond together for being really mean to others. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, see here, we get to have a scene with them not together.
She wore a lot of that style dress in this whole like season. That I don't know what those are called. Slips. They look like slips.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks a little bit like a slip or a nightgown.
But those little sweaters.
And the mini sweaters.
We were in Connecticut. We had to have a sweater.
Oh, this Robert.
That's Robert.
What is Robert's last name?
Grimwald.
He has no
Robert Grimaldi.
No, he has no real last name. It's
No, she just said
made
it.
up.
Robert Grimaldi.
Yeah, but
She made it up.
Made it up
She made it up.
because she doesn't know it.
Spoilers.
Very true.
Heyo.
I love that joke. I love that joke.
It's a great joke. Awesome.
Because that's how friends talk to one another.
You guys had a lot of those subtle, dirty jokes, for sure.
That scene that we just shot with Lauren was shot upstairs, outside in this set.
Nice.
Leather jacket.
I'll tell you after the show how we were able to do that.
That coat doesn't go with her outfit.
Her outfits all seem so out of character this show.
I like the way that Luke smiles at Lorelai.
Yeah, but how about
I gotta
the way
say
she
that.
looks-
It's very sweet, but it looks a little tired.
I also love the reggae fever joke. That's a nice bit of that's wonderful.
Or that he bought it at the car wash.
Yeah. Everything about that is. That's
I used to buy music at the car wash a lot.
Family Zigzag is a funny reggae band name. Stan.
Is there a CD player in his car?
I feel like she's making so much drama that doesn't need to be.
I feel like that still would have had an 8-track. or something.
He's probably got a Blaupunkt.
It's probably those CD players that you had to take the face off.
Oh yeah, especially when you get out of the car, so they don't steal it.
Hey, look at this.
Or the
There we
cassette
go.
or whatever that went in there and
There he is.
attached to your Discman.
There is a picture.
Alexis is perfect in this.
She's so adorable.
So good.
Wearing her Chilton skirt too.
And isn't that her jacket? Her Chilton jacket as well?
Yeah, her whole Chilton outfit.
I would so love to go to a party of Finn like this.
Me too. Finn. Oh, Finn.
We should have this party at Kent, or at the secret event.
Oh yes, a Pulp Fiction Finn's birthday party.
I love that
I'm
idea.
assuming he didn't recognize Rory because of his level of intoxication.
Was that Tank?
Yes.
Yes.
Tank.
Yes, it was.
John Travolta.
John, check out the guy, the Asian guy dancing. You know who that is?
Robert Lee.
Yep.
I've since become friends with Mira Sorvino, and I showed her this scene. She
Oh,
thought
you
it was
did?
hilarious. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This was one of the best days, by far. Everybody was vibing so hard this day.
See? She made it up.
And Grimaldi was the name of a friend of mine.
That's awesome.
And you all know Robert is my nephew.
Oh, nice.
A very
Yes,
handsome
I did
nephew.
not
Yep.
know that.
Love.
Yeah.
Surprised I didn't know that, but I didn't know that.
What I always love about when I see scenes that everyone's shouting, everyone's dancing in the background, trying not to make noise.
There was actually raccoons that lived on the back lot, and whenever we'd shoot over at Loayza or Babette's, we would sometimes see them hanging out on the roof.
Oh, I love this part. I forgot about this.
I love this scene so much. Oh, Kirk.
Naked.
Naked Kirk. Ooh, dirty.
This is what Sean mentioned yesterday.
Yeah, this is what he was talking about yesterday. I left Mother's.
That Batman animated series blanket, though.
Sean Gunn, Kelly Bishop, and Liz Torres steal this show.
Yep.
And Liza, too.
Oh, yeah, Liza.
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Emily.
Superman.
Oh wow, it's the whole Justice League.
Oh my god, that's so
Well, I think you got a raccoon in here.
So does that?
That's a callback.
Yep.
I love that line.
Yes. Nice.
So Jessica.
I guess I thought that this was a Pulp Fiction episode, but now that I'm realizing it's not, it's a Quentin Tarantino party.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so that's like Kill Bill.
Who just bought the Vista
How
Theater?
long would
where
this
I-
take
where
to
I work.
shoot?
This I got this in 2.
I want a parrot named Polly with all the money, please.
So Jessica Reynolds, who's down on the beanbag, said that she actually had a Quentin Tarantino party just like this several years ago, so she could totally give us some pointers for a Gilmore Girls one. We could recreate it.
That is cool.
Have I met you yet? Several times. All right then.
And so,
But I think we spent
Tank.
Alan,
Tank
didn't we
had a-
spend
had
the
a-
whole day on this scene?
Oh, there's Kelly. There's Kelly in the background, my sister. Kelly, there you are.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
this
it
is
would
an
have
odd
taken all
scene
day
to
to
shoot.
shoot.
There's like so many different like people getting introduced into the same scene, so it's like the camera had to reset and keep going. It was a lot.
Yeah, this would be a very complicated scene to do because there's so many setups.
It would have taken a very long time for them to rehearse it as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is Logan a bit jealous that
Jealous
Robert?
Logan is jealous. I like this look.
Robert's so
I like
handsome.
that.
Me too. I love jealous Logan.
Just furthers my concept
Poor
of his
Robert.
ass.
Oh boy.
It's getting steamy in here.
Wow.
Yes, it is.
Ha. Ha.
Oh.
Typical.
Love it so much.
Double standard much?
Oh man.
Love it.
I'm really enjoying this.
Me too. Love it.
Zeus is killing it here.
Good for her.
Proud of her.
Totally.
But
Very
she still
proud.
kissed him.
Oh, there she is.
There's my-
Kelly.
So
Yeah.
foxy.
Oh my god,
What
this
a
is so
dancer.
fun.
Great dancer.
Oh, she's very accomplished.
I remember when you were auditioning for that because you were you living in Los Angeles, Cal, or were you still in Vegas at the time?
I was still in Vegas, but I was coming back and forth.
Right. So you came back and you were staying with me for the audition, and I remember that you were practicing that in my apartment, and then I remember when you got it, you also came back out and were staying with me and we're doing it. So I actually never saw it until just now. I only remember you audition. I remember you
Nice.
practicing it.
Yeah, you were helping me too. You were like, make sure you do it exactly like Uma Thurman. Like, don't do it like a dancer. Like, do it exactly like with all her quirks and everything. So that really helped.
John, you didn't come visit the set that day?
I didn't. I never really came to set. I always felt a little insecure about that. I know that people were allowed to, and that but for whatever reason, I always felt like that would be weird for me to call and ask if I could come to set.
Kelly, you did nail all those quirks. That was like perfect.
Oh,
Was there a choreographer on set?
There wasn't. I basically just for the audition and for that I just did exactly the dance from the movie. So I just learned it off of the movie, and I thought it was going to be more of the dance that I was going to have to do, but then they just picked a little short section of it, and they were like, okay, we're going to come around with the camera here. So.
And Kelly is a professional dancer, and at the time, you were in the Celine Dion show in Las Vegas. That's why she was living there.
Right.
Nice.
I think every
So
fan
cool.
remembers this dance because it's so great. It's really a short moment, but a really great moment.
Iconic.
Tank had a broken arm or something. He told that story about his one arm was like.
It was his clavicle.
I forgot
It was his clavicle.
Okay.
Yeah. Alan reminded me of that. But I remember that. I remember, Kelly, you saying that. You telling me, like, I just remember he had a broken bone, but you were like, oh, the actor that I was with, he had a broken bone.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I love
He
that
was
Luke
he
has
was
a
very
bone.
nervous about it too. He thought
Oh, pay attention. Pay attention.
Oh my god.
Yikes.
Oof. Oof.
She's so horrible.
The way she says hollow is so weighted. Star's hollow.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes,
Good,
move.
good move, Luke.
good move. Smart move, Luke.
Yikes. Go home, you're drunk.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
my goodness.
Oh.
Oh, Emily.
But he went to her after Emily's talk.
I mean, I can't believe how oblivious she is. I mean,
It's kind of sad in a way.
Whoa, baby.
whoa, that was awesome. I've
Very
never seen that in the show from Laura.
Wow.
needed.
Time code, please.
This is a great episode.
Yeah.
This is well done,
Yeah.
Stan.
lot
Time
happened.
code, please.
That was great.
It's my favorite episode of the whole show. It has like everything. It's so great.
Just a guy to take her jacket.
I know. I was thinking that.
I like that little sweater that Lorelai's wearing, by the way. Like the color. And like the blouse underneath it.
Hey, John, what's the current time code?
41 and 53.
Thanks, Claudia.
That was funny.
Elastic pants lady. Yeah, that's nice.
Of
Oh.
I seem to
course.
that is something I
That's
seem to
funny.
remember seeing something like that in like a fandom post or something.
Oh my god.
Oh, Kirk, bless his heart.
Sean Gunn forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the perfect end to a like
Yay! That was
fabulous
a good
episode.
episode.
That was good stuff. Okay.
It's a good episode.
I'm gonna actually open the couch, but if you have not put in a reservation, please do not raise your hand. This is going to only be for folks who put in a reservation on the app. Get a few more folks up here with us, and of course somebody raises their hand immediately. All right, so for our post show, we are adding a few more folks: Sandra, Kathy Ann, April Miller, Sandra, and Kathy Ann.
Hey, guys.
Kathy Ann.
Yes, more Team Robert people. Hi.
Are you there,
Hi,
Kathy Ann?
guys.
Hi.
All right, I'm gonna
Hi.
come back in
Hi,
a second.
April.
Hi.
Okay, Kathy Ann won't be coming up, so that will go down to somebody else. Carol, Tiffany, Sherry. Carol, Tiffany, and Sherry. Hello.
Hi,
Uh,
everyone.
Everybody.
Hi,
and
Tiffany.
Hey, ladies.
Hi, Sam.
and we are adding two more people. So we've got and the next person, Marla, and then right, and then our first person on the waiting list. We have a pretty large waiting list, but first person on there is Lily. Marla and Lily. That should be our full group. Marla, Lily.
John,
All right.
John, I
That's
gotta
a
thank you for
phenomenal episode.
so great.
What's up?
Thanks for doing all of this and making this out. This was a lot of fun. Just wanted to thank you.
Oh yeah, this was great, and this was a really fun group chit-chatting today.
Such a phenomenal episode too.
I'm looking at the original
Yeah, it
script.
really
and
was.
The last scene is interior Winnebago. Michelle finds Kirk naked under a blanket, mumbling in his sleep. On Michelle's horrified expression, we fade out. End of show.
That's great.
It's a great description.
I totally forgot that this episode was the one where Kirk was naked in the boat. I forgot that it happened in this episode. So like, and I've seen the show 1,000 times, so I can't believe I forgot that. But it makes it even better knowing that you wrote this episode, Stan. That like you're the one who wrote that scene, because it's one of my favorite scenes. So.
And the whole thing I'm reading. Question: how did Kirk get my phone number? What? I just got the strangest call from Kirk. He wanted to know if he could crash in my dorm. I'm sorry, hon. He must have gotten your number off the fridge. This is all from first draft. It's interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good
I
bit.
know. I
Wow.
did. That was all still in
Thank you
there.
for sharing.
Yeah, thank
Real
you. For sharing.
interesting.
So cool.
By the way, Lily and Marla, I may have charged you twice. Don't worry, I'll fix that afterwards.
How dare you? You talking about Colonel's
How
here?
rude. That's so rude.
Absolutely.
I might sue. You know what? I'm going to bring up 2 more people so that we can make it a nice, even number of folks here up onto the couch. So I'll add another 2 folks from the waiting list. That will be Cindy and Carl. Please raise your hands.
Yay, Cindy!
Yay, Cindy!
Opening the couch. Cindy and Carl.
Nice. Cindy and Carl.
Woohoo!
Cindy and
It's a party
Carl.
now.
Carl. And then I saw Cindy for a second. Cindy, where are you?
Hi, Carl.
Cindy's on there. I saw her.
Cindy's on.
Yep.
There
1,
she is.
2.
All right, great.
Okay, 4th row.
All right, now we are officially closing the couch.
Okay, hold on.
I think that
Tiffany, not you saying it's a party now. I'm dead.
Girl, you awake?
All right.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Marla.
Hello.
I'm
morning, everybody.
I really like the jealousy on
Me too.
on
Can we
Logan.
talk about that?
I love that. I love it. Just because, you know, I for those of you who haven't been with me during any of the Logan episodes, I just think that character is he's just insufferable in his entitlement. and just always getting whatever he wants.
It's true.
But that's why they're good together. She got
I
him.
agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a question.
I agree.
That since she's like one of our leading.
Yeah. She always
What's up,
gets
Zach?
what she wants to, Rory. It's like she
That
always
is true.
So they probably fit perfectly together if you think about it, because she's changing in university like everyone else.
Yeah, Rory definitely has a little bit of that. I don't know. It's just the power, the balance of power between those two has just been so out of whack for so long. You know, I felt like the Logan characters had just so much more power than her, and it's been bugging me. And so just to see him get annoyed and also just to say it, like, I don't like that you're here with them, is like, what are you talking about? You're here with another girl. I love that. It was.
Well, I think it's extremely disrespectful for him to like show up with a date, Whitney, and then to see her and then drag her away, that's just so disrespectful.
Oh, I know. I know. That's what I mean, don't get me wrong. I am no Team Logan fan. I just, up until now, he's just had this sort of smug, I get whatever he wants, and it was nice to see him finally knocked a little off balance, because it's true. Totally.
You need to see him squirm for sure.
I love to see him squirm. I love to see him squirm. But yeah, I mean, 100%. Super
Squirm,
disrespectful.
boy, squirm. That's all I
Super
He
saw.
didn't
disrespectful.
expect that. He didn't expect that from her. He
No, and
expected her to sit at
it's
home or whatever. He didn't
which
expect
now
her to.
which now makes Logan's character that much more dynamic
yeah,
than
Yeah,
and
just
it's
the
and
guy who always
interesting to
gets.
see him get jealous too, because like everybody's saying, like he is used to getting everything he wants. So it's nice to see him jealous because you're starting to see him kind of like change a little bit in the fact that like he isn't like Rory isn't just giving in to him. So he's like, so now you're starting to see like, okay, he might start to like her a little bit more than he thought. So it's really interesting to watch him be jealous because you wouldn't expect that
Emma, I
from
want
him.
to ask you about that too, because I feel like you're one of our leading Logan apologists. Something that Diana Beanbags has coined Logan apologetics. But lately, about how there is this huge, actually a couple episodes ago or a couple nights ago, where we talked about alcohol, true feelings. I think Top even brought that up, and it was a good point. So, what true feelings are we seeing here, or what lowered inhibitions? The fact that he likes Lori, or the fact that he's just like, pardon the expression, I don't actually think this, but like he's an entitled brat and he's just not getting what he wants at this time.
Probably a little of both.
Yeah,
I mean that's what was so great about all these
Yeah.
characters. They were so flawed, yet you still liked them, and they gave us so much more to write. And then as we got to know Logan, making it just so complicated, yet you still felt these two needed to be together.
Yep.
Credit-
No, I
credit-
definitely think it's a little bit of both. I think he definitely is starting to like her more than he anticipated, and then but I also think there is still a little bit of that entitlement in him that he's irritated that she isn't just leaving with him. But I also have to say I was very, very proud of Rory for sticking her guns and staying at the party with Robert instead of leaving with Logan. I think that was a really great thing for her, and you don't usually see that from her, so I was very proud of her for doing that.
Here, here.
Speaking of Robert, I would like to give
Right.
props to Robert for not spiking Rory's drink. That
Oh,
could have happened,
true. Yeah.
and he
Or
didn't.
forcing her to
Snaps.
drink more than she
I think he was
originally
busy
wanted.
spiking his own drink.
Exactly, I love it.
True.
Yeah.
If basically playing myself, I wouldn't have to.
Oh,
Oh my. Talk
Good
about an
God.
ego.
Whoa.
Nick, what was your costume? What character?
Dead extra number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's a
great.
bit. It's Stan wrote it. It's
Oh,
That's
I
dead
missed
extra
that
number
part.
2, and then Tank says, "Brilliant, my friend," and then we do the whole bit about him owing me money at his own birthday party.
Although you look like Bruce Willis, though, right? Isn't that how his shirt was?
No,
No.
Bruce Willis
Was Matt.
Was Matt, yeah.
Yeah, he was the boxer, I think.
Yeah, but
wasn't
he
he?
had the blood. But at the end of the movie,
But yeah,
Bruce
it's true.
had
At
a
the end of the
bloody shirt.
movie, he
Looked
also
a lot
had the
like that.
bloody shirt. Yeah, it's hard to tell
And does
which it
anybody
was.
know, has Tarantino ever commented on this episode?
Oh,
That'd be interesting to know if he's ever seen this.
Let's
I
go.
told him about it at a party once.
really?
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you really?
What was
Yes, I did.
it?
And
my goodness.
he had not seen it.
So cool.
And then Mel Gibson spilled a glass of vodka on me. It was a very weird night.
That I'm sure
That
that's
sounds about
happened to you a
right.
lot.
That checks out. That checks out.
Alan, how do you feel about like what's your personal stepping outside of playing a role in the show, just watching? What's your personal feeling about the Life and Death Brigade guys? Do you like them?
Oh, I mean, I'm always like trying to explain to people that I am nothing like Colin. Probably because that probably tells you what my thoughts were of them originally. But like on the first impression of them, they're not nice people. But as you get to know them, like what Stan's saying, they're flawed. They have like a small good bone in their body. I feel like they warm up to Rory and they become like nurturing to her. Spoiler, sorry, you'll see. So I think there's like that side of it that like I ended up loving the fact that they all became like a close knit group. And then you see like, okay, he's not 100% bad. And so I think like, my thing with Logan, actually, I'm one of the apologists too, because I feel like that first episode you meet Logan, or at least in You Jump I Jump Jack, you know, his kind of inspiring speech to her to get up there, I feel like was a big turning point for those characters, and you know, oh, this is somebody that's offering something new to Rory as well. So you know, he understands, you know, the good that he could provide for Rory, I feel like, but he doesn't always act on it. So those are my thoughts, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I
think he's too young to understand what to do right, but he does have some sort of he has some sort of moral code deep down inside that sometimes shows up, but not a lot, and not in this moment.
I think that Logan is I think he's a good person. He's not a bad person. I just think that he is his major flaw of entitlement really, it just really bugs me.
Oh yeah.
It really bugs me, especially just because this is no surprise for folks who've been here. I'm a Team Marty fan.
John, you are Marty.
What? John, do you think that he's going to be in the revival?
But isn't it interesting that we gave Rory this love interest that came from like an Emily and Richard world?
Yeah.
I mean, you're all getting that, you know, that
Yeah,
of course.
exactly.
They pushed away, and then who does she fall for? Somebody that understands her upbringing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's from all
And
that.
so different than the other boys that she, you know, really liked.
I think Logan learns.
I can't speak to them because it's spoilers.
I think Logan learns from Rory to be not as much as other rich people, and Rory learns at the same time to be more like her grandparents. So I think they learn from both like settings and where they live, so they learn from each other, and I like that.
And what
they
it brings
find
up
a common ground.
And what it brings up for Lorelai, knowing that he's that kind of boy from her upbringing. You know, it brought us so many storylines and complications that it's, you know.
She's seeing Christopher in him.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Just a quick question for you, Stan. Do you know if the Marty character, if there was any intention when that character was first brought in? I know that this is, you didn't write for season 4, did you? You just came in season 5.
No.
Yeah. But do you know whether the Marty character was intended to be a potential love interest for Rory, and that there would be a love triangle there at Yale, or that he would always be sort of this like the friend zone character?
I feel like it was more the friend zone that we never took him seriously. I'm sure we've had discussions in the room of doing more with the romance, but it was not ever built in to be as strong as you see, like, you know, with Logan.
Because right now, I mean, with Rory, at least the moment that Dean left the scene, like the conflict with Rory and Logan is, for the first time, I'd say, on the show, for the first time, I feel, well, maybe not. I guess first season with Dean was sort of like this, but a lot of the conflict that's played around with both the Lorelai and the Rory character when it comes to love is love triangle stuff, right? Is like there's two guys, or two people that she's trying to figure out between. And right now that Dean's gone, it's just really all of the conflict comes from just the two of these characters, trying to work out like how they feel about each other and whatnot, which I think is really cool, really interesting. But Marty could have provided some sort of a little love triangle thing, if you had wanted to go there. But I guess
I don't think we thought of it in terms of love triangle. We knew that we had so much with Logan to deal with.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's sort of what I'm getting at.
And then we still had, Dean, for an episode, or I don't know if there was more than one this season. We always liked him, and we're thinking of ways to bring him back, and that he still had some pull on her.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously no spoilers because I don't really know what's coming next, but it feels like
Whalers.
is gone. It
Whalers.
feels like Dean is gone now. I mean, there was definitely that pull at
As
the
he
beginning
should
of the
be.
season.
As he should be.
Agreed.
As you should.
Agreed.
As he
Oh
should be.
wow.
There's no
I
love
was
for Dean. That
I was
I've realized over the years that the love for Dean is not as strong as Jess or Logan.
I had love for Dean. I
These
had love for Dean
kids.
early on, and I was defending him for a while, but then things got real weird.
You saw the episode. Yes.
Yeah, I started to
Uh-huh.
realize why people don't like him, but I mean, I still don't hate the character. I mean, I feel like people really can't stand him, but I don't feel that way about him. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't really work.
It is really hard for me to separate my personal feelings for Jared and my like for Dean, because I really like Jared so much, and I just can't. I don't know. I can't let go of Dean.
Oh boy, I'm in trouble.
Oh wow.
I think if you think about Marty, John, it's important that Rory not has just only female friends. She never had a male friend. It was always a love interest. So I think it's important to have Marty as someone like being only her friend. So
Yeah, but he doesn't feel that way.
yes,
So I mean,
but she tries, and it's like it's how it is in university, or if you get older, you like someone, you want to be friends with them, they want to have more, and we will find out what happens with the two of them.
all right, I'm excited
I
for
feel
that.
so dumb. I don't know who Marty is. I'm like on.
So
IMDb
Marty is.
right now.
Oh, no worries.
It's all right, Shelly.
Marty is a guy that she met last season at the very beginning of Yale. It kind of felt to me, it felt like this guy was being set up to be a potential new love interest, and then
No. And Amy, like we've talked about this before, we plant seeds, so that would have been planted on purpose, and then even gone to casting, like, oh, this is something that's going to grow into something. It wasn't ever, thought of in those terms.
All right. Well, it felt like that to me. I mean, just as a viewer, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. This is going somewhere. But as a viewer, I kind of I was interested in seeing what would happen, because he also was a very different character from any of the other guys that she met. And then over the course of season 4, it sort of became clear that he was like just a buddy at Yale, and then you start to get a sense that it's a buddy who's starting to fall for her, and she's getting sucked into the world of the of Logan and the what are they called again? What is it?
Life and Death Brigade.
The Life and Death and the Life and Death Brigade.
There
And
you go.
she's just getting like completely swept up by all of that. He's been featured a lot in the season, specifically kind of pining for Rory, and Rory just kind of not being able to see him past just being a friend.
Right, and then a lot of times what happens, on shows where someone comes in even for a one-time thing, and then the creators really like them, or the character pops, and then you think of other ways of using them and bringing them back. And that's why I always tell actors, like, go on set and have a good time and don't be trouble, because then you could be brought back even if it wasn't planned. So he was a good character to bring back, but never thought of in that strong of a story arc terms.
Stan, we were originally only written to be 3 episodes, Tank's character and mine. What happened after that?
Wow.
Well, obviously you must have done something right on set. No, but it was, the whole thing popped, and it became really fun to watch, so that it made us, come up with other ideas that want to, make more of that, because we only worked on the first half of the season arc-wise, and then, we kind of see what works, and then where we want to go. We kind of generally know where we're going the second part, but not specifics. Like we knew the whole season was about relationships breaking up and coming together.
Yeah. I mean, the same for the band, by the way. Like they like my understanding when we first did it was that was likely going to be, maybe an episode or 2 recurring, and we were there for the rest of the show. So
it almost felt like the show was, kind of created around this family with, grandparents and parents, and not necessarily focused on her friends or people her age as much, other than her boyfriends. But then I guess once they added groups of people her age for the audience that was watching it at the time, it made sense people wanted to watch that more.
Oh my God, yes, Alan, you got it. That is literally it.
Alan, can I send you some kernels for that incredible insight?
Also, do not forget how handsome Alan and Tank are. Do not forget that.
Very
So that look
For
for yourself
you.
there.
The whole brigade was a sexy lot.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna send you all kernels. You all get kernels.
Can we
We're
talk
Team
about? Can we do a quick?
And
Can we
then
do a
you
quick
all
pivot?
became a little like Dorothy and her, the Scarecrow and all those. I mean, you became
Yeah,
this
John, I
little,
was about to ask
this
that
little
was
group.
the idea, I think.
It really was the Wizard of Oz.
John. Hey,
Yeah.
John,
Everything goes back to the Wizard of Oz, I think, in writing.
Yes, I think so too.
Really? Explain that.
Every time I just feel like whenever I'm working on stories, for me, it was such an important movie growing up, but it's always like, there's no place like home, and just those going into another world and the fish out of water. It's like, for some reason, it's such classic storytelling, and that you see other people in your new world that you grew up in, and I want some kernels for that.
Jeez,
come on, Stan.
You can harvest them in
I'll
May.
give you some kernels for that. I'm also going to just think about that next time I'm writing something. I'll just be like, I'm going to just copy Wizard of Oz.
You should. I reference it so much, it's crazy.
And you'll
Shelly,
see references in this show, towards it.
Shelly, you wanted to say something?
Lee from the couch or the beanbags wanted to make a comment, and she wanted me to read it. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
It's regarding Logan. Before we switch topics, just let me.
I'm gonna create something in the app soon where people can ask questions, like people who don't get up onto the couch can ask questions for folks on the couch.
Oh, cool.
Because it's a cool thing that happens every once in a while, that somebody from the couch somehow, or from the beanbag somehow, gets a question up to people on the couch, which I should just code that.
We love each other.
How are they getting the questions up there?
I really don't know.
There's a little. She has a little. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I went over to the discussion because it has an in-app discussion.
By the way, Lee, you need to get onto the app. I was trying to send you some kernels yesterday for your contributions, but I couldn't find you in the app. Get on the app. All right, Shelly, what's up?
He says, I was very proud of Rory for standing up against Logan for his double standards while he was also on a date with someone else. I actually think it's one of the few times we see Rory being very calculated in her actions, almost close to being manipulative of the situation to get what she wanted out of Logan by accepting the date from Robert to begin with.
Yeah, I think that's so true.
Yes.
I mean, if you see her face during the scene that Stan was saying, why aren't they walking away? Where they were just standing there. She's trying to force the accepting, she's trying to force herself to accept this moment, right? Like, okay, it's fine. We're going to be casual. But you can tell she hates it and she's not into it. And so that leads to the quiet place inside you that will manipulate something later on that she's not going to say it out loud, but she's doing it.
And it's interesting to watch Lorelai's face when she calls and she asks her, what Rory did. And you can see on Lauren's face, like, kind of her feelings about Logan and all of that.
Harvest. 100%.
Yeah.
Yep,
very subtle.
Harvest those kernels. I want to pivot really quick, just because we have another 15 minutes before we'll start our next episode. Can we talk about Emily and just how oblivious she is to what she did and why in the world they would still, or Lorelai would still be upset with her. This is something that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around. Stan, can you give me some clarity here? Because it just seems so incredibly obvious that she walks in and insults this guy in trying to get them back together, and that this would somehow be cool and Lorelai would be like, okay, coming over to her house. Like, I feel like Emily, like, I don't know, explain this to me.
Explain it to you. Well, she's used to getting what she wants, and she's, the way she fires and hires people, and she's not used to having to deal with someone like Luke and also not, doing everything she can to get Lorelai back at the house, and not really understanding that you can't manipulate people and they wouldn't be affected by that. I mean, there's so many people I can think of, even my own father that would push people's buttons and then didn't understand why that would push people away. Colonel.
Okay.
Come on, Colonels.
Does anybody else have
I
some,
would like to
something
go.
say?
I would like to start.
She
I
seemed
would love to.
miffed that that Laura didn't show up to dinner.
Yeah, of course, but I'm saying
Absolutely,
I know, but she should. But why would she think that Lorelai would? I mean, in the last episode, she walks in and she basically insults Luke. She's like, I don't like you. I don't think that you're worth much. But need you to get back with my daughter so that I can repair things. It's like, I mean, I guess
no
we
one's
talked
ever
about
stood up to her
yesterday.
before.
We did talk about yesterday that that Emily, that's just sort of the way of Emily, that she just insults people like that, and she sort of expects that people just take it. It just seems like at this moment, with such a massive fight between her and her daughter, that she would recognize that behavior is probably not going to get her anything with Lorelai, even if they get back together.
I think with Emily. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I think one of the things is Emily doesn't really take full responsibility that she broke them up, because in her mind it was like, oh, I'm doing what's best, so the fact that you guys broke up is just like a plus. And then since she doesn't take full responsibility for that, really, she thinks that now she is absolved of whatever because she is now quote unquote fixed this.
Well, she talks to Luke like Huntsberger.
Yeah,
she treats Luke
exactly.
like Huntsberger treats Rory, like beneath them.
Yes.
Oh,
it's just like
Emily.
Emily.
That's very interesting.
Oh
Shelly,
wait,
explain
no,
that.
Shelly, you can't. Don't explain. Hold on. No, we can't explain
And
that.
Oh, you mean Huntsberger? Oh, you mean Huntsberger the dad?
no.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a spoiler. Don't.
Shelly almost spilled the beans.
I thought you meant Huntsberger.
No spoilers,
Logan. I
honey.
thought
Yeah,
you meant
no, I'm
Logan.
talking about how Logan. No, I'm talking about how Logan just he
A
treats
good catch. Good catch, Shelly.
he treats her like he's so entitled and like. And then she finally stands up to him, and
I got it.
I think also like actually fundamentally about Emily and Lorelai, the whole show's premise is on this problem between them, this rift between them from years ago, from when she was 19 years old, and they fought over stuff like this. And I've seen super irrational moments in my own parents where I'm like, that is not how the world actually operates outside of your bubble. And Emily still has these moments constantly, so often. And like, this was my original thought about her when I was on the show at the time and getting glimpses of her, from episodes here and there. I did not like her, and this was one of those moments. Is because she doesn't get how the world works outside of her entitled bubble. But and she doesn't understand that, like, oh, you can't just bully somebody. She learns throughout this series. Definitely, Emily definitely changes and learns throughout this series, and you'll see that. But like,
and this season you'll see it in coming episodes without saying too much. But
come on,
right.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my thought on that. Like, this is one of Emily's real crappy moments, where she has some really like shining moments, and Lorelai has some real crappy moments that come up.
But again, you'll see the arc of her in this season, and that you have to set up an arc to get.
Yeah.
That's what an arc. That's what an arc is.
That's very true. That's what an arc is.
As Emma and Tiffany, who took my class in writing, knows, So this is a slow build up of what she's been doing all of her life, and then, you'll see how that is challenged.
But I don't think
100%.
there's any doubt that Emily really wants Lorelai in her life, and she'll do whatever she can. I think what she does is calculated, but I think everything she does because she does want to invite her. And
for sure, she's just an idiot about it at times. She's just really like disconnected. Absolutely.
Yes,
and then I guess it's the idiot part. It's the idiot part that I was having a hard time, because she doesn't strike me as an idiot. She strikes me as an extremely intelligent woman. So to clarify, Stan.
But not when it comes to personal relationships.
And is that part of her arc? Is that part of her arc is coming to realize that?
I'm gonna button my lip here.
Well,
Stan, don't say too much.
That's a
Don't say too much,
spoiler.
Stan.
That's a
You
spoiler.
don't have to tell me what you don't have to tell me what happens, but you can.
Well, that would be a spoiler, John. That would be a
Tell me,
spoiler.
like, in her arc, where would we be in her arc? Like,
no, I don't think.
Okay, all right.
I think
but it's great. But it's great that you feel that way, so that
that is good that
you
you're open
will
to
have
that.
the emotional, pull of it. I mean, that's you
think
want to be
Stan's
like
right.
you want to be like yelling at her. No, that's not the way to do it.
No, we don't do it that way. Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, exactly. This shows that like the cast and the writers really did a great job because emotionally,
exactly.
we're invested.
This may be a popular opinion, but everything
Carl's right.
for her family now, she may get in her own way sometimes, and she's her own worst enemy. But I think everything she does is for her family.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes
think
she
she
just goes about
realized
it the
what she's doing.
way the wrong way.
Say that
John,
again, Sherry.
I said she's a lot of the times though she goes about it the wrong way.
Right.
I agree. She wants Lorelai and she wants Rory in her life, but she wants them to be in her life her way. That's the way she is.
Right, and I'm sure we all know relatives or parents that push it and expect it to work, and by pushing you push people away.
Yes, my own mother's that way.
Yes, you can't force somebody to love you, but a lot of people feel that you can't.
Also really revealing in that scene is that this, what I didn't realize what the show was about, guys, until I watched the pilot, and I realized it was about blackmailing Lorelai to have dinner every Friday, and that didn't happen this week. So she was also like, "Hey, this you're breaking the cycle. What's going on?" So she freaks out.
Although at this point in the storyline, that deal has actually expired, and the new deal that has been formed is only a deal between Rory and them, and Lorelai is sort of coming over now as a sort of just out of her own like desire, or I don't want to say desire, but Lorelai doesn't have to if she doesn't want to, and so
I think that
As
Emily
it
thinks it's a
that was the
joint
word.
deal.
Say again?
For me, it's
Emily took it
interesting.
as a joint deal that if Rory was coming, that Lorelai had to come, and she doesn't see it. That's why she's miffed as well. That she put out 4 place settings because she assumed I apologized and you accept. I not apologized, but I belittled myself and I came here. So why isn't my daughter at my house? She assumed that she would always come because Rory was there.
For me, it's interesting that Emily doesn't get what she wants and she gets really mean to Luke. In the same episode, Lorelai doesn't get what she wants with a photo shoot, so she is really mean to Michelle. So I think it's an episode where we see how similar Lorelai and Emily are.
Oh, that's a bushel of kernels.
That is a nice little kernel.
Very
Boy,
nice.
I wish the writers were that smart.
Claudia.
That's great. I love that.
Like that, Claudia.
Hey, you guys. I gotta skedaddle because Michael's mom's birthday, but I wanted to tell April. I'm so sorry I missed Doug's memorial. I had to go to a wake for my friend who passed away that day.
Oh,
so
well, you
I
had
couldn't be in 2
more
places.
important things.
I'm
Of
so
course.
sorry, April.
Well,
And
I can send it to you if you want to see it.
Sure.
Also.
Yes, absolutely.
I do
You
too,
guys
April.
have an awesome day.
Okay.
And whoever
Thank you for being here, Shelly.
Yay. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Shelly.
Bye.
Bye, Shelly.
Bye, hon.
Thank you.
Should we chat? Should we chat a bit about the whole Lorelai Michelle bit?
Sure.
I think that's a great perspective from Claudia. Though.
I love
very
that, Claudia.
interesting.
That's brilliant.
I really thought the whole time watching that was something that the writers purposefully did, because like after like a certain amount of rewatches, I kind of noticed that what Emily would do, Lorelai would do, just in a different scene or setting. So I kind of thought that was something that the writers purposefully did.
Did you all do that, Stan? Like, did you think about mirroring Lorelai and Emily throughout, at least the throughout the season that you were writing on there? What was that discussion like? Even if it wasn't in the actual episode itself, like this idea of showing the two, showing the similarities of them, showing mother and daughter.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was that the granddaughter and the grandmother were alike, but then also, you know, we all have fears of when we're said, "Oh, you're just like your mother, your father." So that is always a button to push that is good dramatically. So, you know, that Lorelai would never, she thinks she's so different from her, but, you know, sometimes, as we say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
John, have you seen the revival all the way through?
I haven't. The only thing
No.
that I've seen from the revival was the actual one, or the only the one that I was in,
Winter.
which was Winter. I was in it. Was I? Wait, I was
You were
in Winter.
in another one.
I was also in another one where I was at a movie theater, but I've never seen that one because I only went to the one that was the premiere, and I believe the premiere was Winter.
Got it.
Yes.
Okay. There. Yeah. Lorelai. I was very upset with her during the revival, and in a very Emily sort of way. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, you need to come back and watch the revival, because we're gonna get to the revival in this watch as well. So you need to come back for that episode and get real mad.
Yes.
John,
Yes,
do
you
you
do.
think that
should
Marty
join
will
us.
be in the
Very much
revival?
so.
Hey, before Nick leaves, or if I don't know how long he's staying around, do you remember how we got your shirt all dirty and red?
I don't think I
Kool-Aid.
ever knew.
Oh, well, I thought we might have done it on
Nasty.
you with the director. Usually we do that.
I don't
Usually,
remember.
so basically, when we have blood in a scene, we will go up to the director and just say, "How would you like this to be?" And so you'll be standing there, and we'll place the blood on you according to how the actor, you know, the director would like the thing to look. And and back then, I'm pretty sure we would have done it right on you. Right on your body.
It's
Because otherwise it
coming
doesn't
back to
look
me now.
right.
I remember it sticking to my chest hair.
Absolutely. Then it was definitely fresh on you. And
Yeah.
Speaking of
Dirty.
chest hair, I recently saw an image of you from a Gazebo Girls shot, and your chest was smooth as a cucumber. What's going on there?
Well, that must have been from Super. That's the last time I shaved my chest.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, that is not Nick Holmes.
That
is Nick
that was when you were
Holmes
demonstrating
Oh my
Amy's
goodness.
has a
glasses. How you put her
beautiful.
glasses on. How you thought
Yes,
that was
Amy's glasses.
Yes, and how you thought it was sexy.
Dirty.
Well,
very much so.
It was.
Carl's gonna start saying what dirty is. Okay.
Well, on the mention of my chest hair, I guess I shall make my exit. But I thank you very much, John.
Oh my!
And
Thanks for hanging with us, Nick.
And let's agree that
Thanks
there's
for
no
coming
more
here.
enigmatic character than Colin. And Stan,
Aw.
thank you for your work. And I missed Shelly's exit to tell her. But and Kelly, you're so foxy. You're so foxy.
Thanks, Nick.
But my pleasure to be in your company this morning.
Thanks for coming, Nick.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming.
for
I'm so
This
glad
was
you
great,
were
Nick.
in
Thank
here,
you, man.
honey.
Have a great day.
Thank
Love
you.
you, Nick.
Thanks
We're-
for being in here, honey.
We're gonna
Later, buddy.
start getting ready here for our next episode. Any of you cast and crew who would, and writer, I mean that's crew, right? No, I don't know. I mean, if you'd like to stick around for this next episode, we would love to have you. If you've got to get going, totally understand.
I got to get going, but please invite me for those future ones. We'll talk online, but I'll be back for these guys. So
Wonderful.
I like
Thank
talking.
you, Alan.
Well, thank you, Alan, for being
Thank you,
here.
Alan,
Great.
can I tell you one thing before you go, Alan?
Absolutely, go right ahead.
You know, when I first watched the show and I saw Colin, I wanted him to get his ass beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a very nice guy at first.
Yeah, none of us really like Colin.
I wanted Marty to
Even
rob
Colin
him.
himself.
I was like, ooh, that'd be enticing. And Marty never did.
I
you should've wrote.
auditioned for Marty, so I would have kicked Colin's ass if I played Marty for sure.
Oh,
Gosh,
we love it.
We gotta
Alan
make
got nicer though. So.
we
Or
found
Colin got nice.
Even Colin himself doesn't like Colin.
Yeah,
We've
Colin got nicer with time. So.
He did.
we've commented
Mhm.
before, like, a few actors who have been on here with us have talked about, all of the recurring, well, most of the recurring characters have talked about the other characters on the show that we all auditioned for. So I have a character that I auditioned for. Nick has a character he auditioned for. You have another character you auditioned. I feel like there should be a list somewhere online that just shows all of the other characters that each of the recurring characters on Gilmore Girls auditioned for.
For
and
sure.
and could have
That'd
potentially
be cool.
Ask Mara.
Yeah, Mara and
Jamie or
Jamie.
Mara. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
I
probably.
just
probably
worked
have
Somebody's
all
got a
that.
list.
that.
I'm
I don't
sure.
know. I mean, you would know better, Alan, but that feels like it would be a great listicle.
Yeah, that was a lot. I went and auditioned for them for a lot of different roles there, and I remember Marty sticking out, like where I was like, oh, that might be a boyfriend. All right, but it wasn't.
See, there you go. I'm telling you, Marty, he's the one. I'm hoping he comes back in the revival.
Oh,
He's
no.
All
the
right, guys.
one.
Well, I
No
love you all. I'll
boyfriend
be back.
material.
Thanks, Alan.
I'll be back to
Thank
these,
you.
and we'll talk
Thank you,
more.
Kelly.
Thanks,
Happy
sweetie.
Valentine's
Bye,
Day.
Alan. Thanks,
Mwah.
honey.
Big kiss, everybody.
Bye, Alan.
Oh,
Thank you.
take care, honey.
Stan, do you need to get
Bye.
going, or are you gonna?
I need to get going too, but this was so
Okay.
cool, and I'm so glad I actually looked back at the original first draft of the script, and like I said, one day we should do a reading of it. It'd be kind of funny to see
Yes.
what.
Yeah, that
what's-
would be
Yeah,
fun.
that
Yeah,
would
my
be so
favorite
cool.
line
Thank you.
was in this.
Hey, Stan.
And you know
I
what
just
else,
love
Stan? You know what
comparing.
else you should take a look at?
What?
Remarkist.
Your kernel balance. I'm sure that it's gone up.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna look at, but
Whee!
I love all of you, and this is such a cool thing you're doing,
Aw.
John. And I can't
Love
wait
you,
till
Stan.
we're all together, and this community has meant so much to me. So
Oh, and
Awesome.
Stan,
Love you,
Stan,
Stan.
I just want to say thank you so much, like, for your contribution with like writing season 5, because every time when I rewatch season 5, especially when I was learning more about like story structure and film with screenwriting, it really made me go, oh my God, this is written like a movie. This is a
oh,
really good season. Like,
Yeah,
honestly,
it really is
props.
a good season.
Yeah,
Thank
season
you
thank
for
4 and
all
you.
you
season 5
did.
are hot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a great time doing it, and just all the actors, you can tell we just loved being around them, and you all were such good actors. You gave us so much to write towards.
Oh.
Oh,
No.
Oh,
Oh,
so love you all. I will see you
Love
all
you,
very
Stan.
soon.
Bye.
Thank you for
Stan.
your
Bye,
day.
sweetheart.
Thank you
See
for
you.
the insight.
Talk
Stan,
to you
Hey,
soon.
Can't
hey,
wait.
Kel.
Bye.
Hey,
give
Kel.
Liz
Do
a
you need
big kiss.
to get going as well?
I do. I've got to go tend to Elowen.
All right.
But
Well, thanks for joining us.
oh
Thank
no,
you. It
thanks
was
for
great
Yeah, that
having
meeting
was
me.
you.
It was so
great.
great.
That's
This was
great.
awesome. It was so great
Yeah,
to
it was
just,
Thank you,
great to see
Kelly.
hear everybody's
you.
Thanks for
discussion.
joining in.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, and I'll hopefully I'll do it again some other time.
Yeah.
I'll join in with you.
We would
Anytime.
love
Yeah,
that.
it's
Anytime.
fun.
That would be terrific. Thank you.
Bye,
Okay.
Kel.
Thank
Bye.
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, honey.
Bye, Kelly.